This video will go over solutions for the 5.6 extra practice. So number 7, half is equal to k minus 2. I set this up not to confuse you, but to make you aware that we're not going to be doing anything to that half right away. In fact, we always need to be looking at our variable first. What's happening to our variable? Where is it? And what can we do to isolate the variable? Here our variable is k minus 2. So because we're subtracting 2, we need to add 2 in order to remove that and have k isolated. And what we do there on the right, we're going to do on the left. We have half plus 2. We can look at this in two ways. Half plus 2 or 2 plus half is equal to 2.5. But if we get a mixed number as our answer, in algebra we need to change this to an improper fraction using our C method. So k is going to be equal to 5 over 2. There's another way to go about this, and that's to do things a little bit longer, to take half plus 2. Well, 2 as a fraction is 2 over 1. These are unlike fractions. The denominators are different. So we can multiply the second fraction by 2, changing it to become half plus 4 over 2. And there again, we will get the same answer. We will end up with the improper fraction. I know that some of you may not like 5 over 2 is equal to k. You can switch it around after you've solved. K is equal to 5 halves. For number 8, we hone in on the variable. Here is x. So we ask ourselves, what's happening to x? X is being divided by 6. So because it's being divided, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to multiply by 6. That will cancel, leaving us with x isolated. And over on the left, we're going to multiply by 6. Negative 9 times 6 is negative 54. And again, you can write the answer with the variable on the left-hand side if you so choose. X is equal to negative 54. Algebra word problems can be fun. They take some getting used to, so just be patient. You don't have any of these on your final exam or even your unit exam, so it's just time to learn and practice. So we have Sheila and Russell, and if we see the information, we know less about Russell than we do about Sheila. So Russell is going to become our variable. So let's assign him with the letter X. And then Sheila, we know that she drove 72 kilometers more than Russell. So she's going to be Russell, X, plus 72. Together, the total distance traveled by them both was 232 kilometers. So Russell is X plus Sheila, which is x plus 72, and that is going to equal 232. So we have x plus 72. We can combine our like terms. We can collect the two x's. X plus x is 2x, plus 72 is equal to 232. Now we can subtract the 72, leaving us with 2x isolated. So we're going to subtract 72 from both sides. That will cancel it over on the left-hand side, leaving us with 2x is equal to 160. Now, to isolate x, we're going to divide. We're multiplying 2 times x, so we're going to divide by 2. Canceling, and we divide by 2. X is equal to 80. But remember, this is a word problem. What is x? X means Russell. So Russell drove 80 kilometers. And the question asks for both people. So Russell is 80 kilometers, and Sheila is x plus 72. Sheila is 80 plus 72. So Sheila is going to be 152 kilometers. If we go back to the original equation, we can see that Russell is x 80, plus Sheila, x plus 72, is 152. And indeed, when we add these two numbers, we do come to 232 kilometers. So we know we have the right solution. In Module 4, we solve perimeter and area of circles. Perimeter of a circle is circumference, and the formula is pi times the diameter. We have been provided with a diameter of 9 millimeters, and we can determine the radius by cutting the diameter in half. Dividing by 2 will get us to 4.5 millimeters. If we want to calculate our circumference, we're going to use rounded pi, 3.14, multiplied by 9, gets us to 28.26 millimeters. That's the outside measurement of the circle. The area, or inside measurement of the circle, is pi r squared. So we are going to multiply 3.14 to 4.5 millimeters squared. So on your calculator, you can type in 4.5 squared times 3.14, and you're going to get 63.585. And that is going to be square millimeters. For number 2, we have Rick spending time reading pages, but we want to know the time it would take to read 30 pages. This is a perfect example of a proportion question. So we can take Rick spending 25 minutes for 14 pages. And so how many minutes? We'll give that the variable x in 30 pages. To solve for x, we're going to cross multiply 25 times 30 and divide by 14. And so x will be 53.5. But the question asks us to round to the nearest whole number. So we're going to round that to 54. So it will take Rick 54 minutes to read 30 pages. For number 3, there's a few ways to solve. So I'd like to go through a few different methods. In this question, they're asking the total amount that Portia paid for these 2 DVDs, including the tax. So one way we can do is to calculate the GST and then add it to the original price. So we can call that method 1. This is particularly useful when you need to know the GST amount. So we can take 14.98, and a quick way to calculate GST is to multiply by 0.05. You can set up a percent proportion as well, but this goes faster and is more kind of, I guess, real life. If you were standing in a store with your phone, you would be doing this above setting up a proportion. So if we take 14.98 and we multiply that by 0.05, we're going to get 74 and 9, right? So we're going to leave that. So 0.749 for our GST amount. And then, so that would be like our first step. And then our second step would be to add that. So add your GST, hold that on your calculator, and add it to the cost. And that will give you the total price. So I'm going to add the 14.98. I'd like you to notice that I don't round until the end. So we need to round to the nearest cent. This will be $15.729. So rounding to the cents place is to our hundredths place. So this will bump the 2 up. This will be $15.73. So that's all good. This kind of method is really fast and effective, especially when you want to know the amount of GST. But another method that I actually prefer, if you need to know the total amount, what you can do is add first. So you can think of the decimal as being 0.05 plus 1 whole. So when I do method 2, I take the price, $14.98, and instead of multiplying by 0.05, I multiply by 1.05. That is 105% of the price. 100% of the price is 14.98, like 14.98 times 1, and then the GST is added on. And what that does, and if we try it on our calculator, so just to try, just to see, it's always good to punch it in one more time, we see indeed we get the exact same numbers. So 15.729 rounds to 15.73. Proportion method works well too. So you could set up a percent proportion, and keep in mind, with a percent proportion, you could use 5 over 100 to get the GST amount, or you can use 105 over 100 to get the total cost in one step. For number 4, this is a BEDMAS question. BEDMAS states that we're going to do brackets, exponents, and square roots first. So we're going to solve 10 divided by 5 is 2 brackets, and I'm going to solve the square root of 25 is 5 over here. I'm going to copy everything else down and reassess where I'm at. So I have 45 divided by 5 minus 2 times 3 plus 2. So I have subtraction, division, multiplication. I'm going to do the division first and the multiplication at the same time. So 45 divided by 5 is 9, minus 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2. Now I have subtraction and addition. I must do the subtraction first because it's on the left. 9 minus 6 is 3, plus 2, and we come to the solution. It's 5.